Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, after the intro picture you saw just before this, and now the shirt, I bet you're figuring out that this is going to be about an RM400. Folks, I think I've just about got most of the parts I need. I know there's going to be a lot more, but most of the big parts are here, and they weren't exactly easy to get, but I was able to get them, and I found most of the pieces I were missing on Craigslist, and they were a couple states away from here. But the man, he really, I think he would rather have sold them locally, but he was good enough to pack them all up, and very well, and I must say, and send them to me. Of course, there was a little bit of shipping involved there, but there again, it's not a small task to package stuff like that and to get them on a UPS truck and get it all over here. And I really do appreciate it. So Mike, if you're listening or if you're watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But anyhow, you've heard me talk about the 79 RM400 that I sold 15 so years ago, and just been kicking myself since. This one here, I think we've pretty much put together everything for a 80. The engine that I got a month ago or whatever that I've already tore down and we've inspected, that engine is an 80, and the frame that I just got is an 80. So I'm going with the 80 theme as far as tank and plastic and that sort of stuff. I've got the plastic on order, the fenders, side panels, that sort of stuff. I do have a tank. I got a Clark tank for it, but this one, it's going to need some help. You know, it's going to need some plating of hardware. Of course, it's going to need a lot of new hardware too. But the OEM stuff that's hard to get, you know, you've got to refurbish it because you just can't find it, and if you do, it's terribly expensive. So we'll be doing that. But you know, we're building it from the ground up. The frame is going to need some repair, but it's nothing like the RM250. It's got a little bit of a problem on the bottom, but it's easy fix next to what we had to go through with the RM250. So I'm not forgetting the 250. That one's coming up. I've got to work on the cylinder on that one. That'll be coming up shortly, and we should be able to get that engine built up and get it in the frame. But anyhow, I guess maybe I ought to just quit flapping my jibbies and let me take you over here, and we'll start going over what we've got and some of my limp facts, that, you know, things that I don't have, and you know, maybe somebody out there has got some extra stuff. You know, if you do, contact me. I'll tell you the couple of things that I do need. Number one, I think I've got the seat thing figured out. You know, the 79 and 80 seats were similar, but they're different. And I think really it amounts to just removing the brackets and moving them, or building a little different bracket. I'm already kind of figured I would probably just try to make my seat pan. I've got a cushion and a cover coming. So I made a seat pan for Kawasaki F5, I think. And I know it's a little bit different than, you know, these were plastic, that was metal. I probably will make this one out of aluminum, but anyhow, you know, it's that's way down the road. But if I could come up with a seat or a seat pan, that would be nice. And it seems the rear brake hub is hard to find, and you know, maybe there's an alternate, something that fits that maybe doesn't look exactly right. I'm not looking to make this a concourse restoration. I'm just trying to make trail bike out of it. So if I can get something that works, that's good enough for me. Or I can use 81 up stuff, and that's probably what I'm going to do, because I've got at least a front wheel for a 81 or 82. So you know, you just have to make the spacers and everything and make it work. But I've got an 80 wheel hub, but just not a brake plate for the rear. And I think there was something else that I just can't think of right now, but those are the two major things that I'm missing. So let's get on down there, and I'll show you what I've got and where I'm going with it. Okay, we've got a lift here that is just full of everything. And as you can see, I got the frame. I've had the swing arm for several years, and so I had that already. Had a lot of the hardware for the axle and whatnot. Like I say, this is a new Clark tank. Here we've got this is a 79 and 80 front wheel, but I've got a 81, 80, I think these go up to maybe 85. And I used one of these on the 250MX Yamaha project, and I kind of like that, especially if you use the forks. And that was another thing I was thinking about doing, is using this actually is RM125 forks, and they're the same length and same size as this is a 79 set here, RM400. And the thing is, they're a little bit heavier in the bottom down here, and they hook up a little bit different. But I've got all that. I've got a top triple. Actually, I've got the rest of it coming, I think. And down here you'll see this is the 80 rear wheel, and it's just missing the brake plate there, like I said. So that's kind of where we're at. The engine, not as good as the last one I had, but it'll give us a lot of really good parts. I went ahead and tore this one apart. You watched me tear the other one apart. This one, I had to use a lot of pullers and some heat and stuff because it was full of water. And you can see, you know, the cases are really pretty nice, but they're just going to need to be cleaned up. And we've got the electronics for it. I've got the rotor here somewhere. I don't know whether this works or not. The clutch was, I think it's all here, but oh man, it was bad. I had to break apart each plate as I took it apart. It's really, really pretty bad, but all the hard parts are good. Here's the rotor right there. And here's the other side. I was really hoping for a good crankshaft, and I think I've got a good enough core. You know, they're just so hard to come by. And we've got all the transmission in this box. Everything there looks good. It just got a little bit of rust. So we'll get that in the metal rescue. This cylinder head, seen better days. It's got a break here, a couple fins broken, and looks like it's had some detonation problems, maybe some rings coming loose, something. So, but I don't really need it. It's, you know, I just really need to get one engine going. Here was the piston that came out of it, and I'll take you over and show you the cylinder. Looks like they'd stuck it, and you can still see the aluminum in the cylinder. So we'll, you know, like I say, this is kind of parts. It looks like this is a pretty good cover. May not need any repairs. Oh yeah, it will. There's a little couple, 2 or 3 holes right there. It's got some mud and stuff in it here, but you know, it's just hard to find those. And it looks like we've got an intact mag cover. Yep, I believe that's the right one. Yep. And Kickstarter. So, okay, this is the 81 brake assembly and everything here, the front wheel. And it's a pretty nice wheel. I didn't notice any cracks or anything. You know, I don't really care. Whatever I can get to work. So the frame, I think there's a little hole in one of the, on the bottom. I don't remember what side it was on. I think it's right back here. So that will need to be repaired. Let me flip this over so we can see it. Okay, it was on the other side here. Just a little hole right here. So what we'll probably do is, this should all be chrome moly. So I've got some, we'll just take we'll split a tube in half and lay it all the way along the bottom on both of them. I've seen that repair a lot. I'll go ahead and fix this hole, but that's what we'll do to strengthen this, is just run a half tube on the bottom, and that'll protect it from rocks and stuff too. But nothing like that other, the 250. Got the chain guard, got a roller up here. This doesn't have the really, it's kind of, you know, the 79 had a roller on top of the, up here. On this they just put a slider, and it had a different type roller on the bottom or something. I can't remember what it was. We'll be making a kickstand. I'm not going to pay the kind of money they want for those on eBay or whatever. But this is pretty nice. It just got a lot of, you know, it's been used. And this, you know, it could certainly be better, but that's what we've got. And these are really getting expensive anymore. I'm glad I had that one already, because I just looked on eBay, and I think they're about 450 bucks for the one that's on there. And we've got our brackets here and a few, that's just little hardware stuff in there. But anyhow, let me run you up to the bench and let's look at the cylinder. Okay guys, thank you very much. Don't forget to thumbs up. Here's the cylinder that we had, and let me get some light. I think you can see there where the piston stuck, and it looked like they had just honed it and probably put, it's not a new piston, or it wasn't, I don't think it was, but they stuck it for some reason. That's the only place. But they had honed it out and everything. I haven't touched it, but you know, I can get this off with a little muriatic acid right here, get the aluminum off there, and we'll hone it up, and we'll see what the clearance is. But it is, you're not going to believe this, but it is a standard bore. And here's a brand new standard piston. It seems like it's a little looser than the other one, but it's not bad. You know, I think these clearance on these are about 3.5 or 4. So, or at least that's maximum. Anyhow, there's the problem is you can't get any rings for these, or I can't find them. Anybody has have some they want to get rid of, I could sure use those. Or what I may end up doing is cutting the keystone out of this and adapting a Wassner ring. I bought a Wassner ring and they're the same size. They're 1.2 millimeter, but they won't fit exactly because these are made for a keystone ring. Probably what I'll have to do is just get a Wassner, but you know, the pistons are pretty much available. You just can't get the rings. Okay, and here's the crankshaft, and it's seen better days, sitting in about 2 inches of water, but the threads are good, and the dimples in the end, the centers, are good. But the crankshaft, or you know, the rod is not. But those are available through Vengo and a couple other you know, parts houses too. I think Bike Buzzard's got them too. But my plan was to go ahead and pop this apart today, just so I can start cleaning up all the rust and stuff on these, and do some measuring to see what I, you know, might be able to find something myself without buying the stuff from them. That's a couple $100. You know, you got to save where you can. Another thing that we're going to have to work on is right here. This is the seal area, and the water is taking its toll there. So I really don't think that would ever seal again. So I'll probably end up having to turn this down and put a sleeve on it. I did put this in the lathe and try to turn that with some sandpaper, and it's just, I don't think it's going to clean up good enough to run. So this side is all good, no problems there. But this has certainly seen better days. You couldn't even move it when I got it, so it's a lot better now than it was, but I know there's not going to be any good in there. So I guess the next thing that we'll do is get over there on the press and pop this thing apart. Okay, I've got her over here in the press. I think we got her lined up. I'm just gonna reach down here at the bottom and grab it. Got the rod back here to the back. Of course, you know, there ain't nothing good about that. So here we go. Oh boy. I think we can make it work. It's just rusty, but not in the places that matters. Yeah, there's nothing good about that. All right, let me get a rag and we'll push the rest of the pin out. Okay, let's push the rest of it out. even get a pop out of that one. Okay guys, there it is. Not much to them, but everything except these two pieces is no good. Just, yeah, it's just no good. Can't even get this off there. So, you know, the crankshaft that's in the engine I tore down about a month ago, it looks like it's probably all right, and it's probably okay without doing anything to it. But I probably will rebuild it. But I was really looking to see if I could pick up another one where I would have a spare. But I think this one will be okay. I'll get it sandblasted and cleaned up, and you know, make sure everything's good on it. I think so. A little metal rescue will take care of most of that. But you know, beggars can't be choosy, and stuff's just kind of hard to find. I haven't seen a crankshaft on eBay or anything for a long time. I did look on there, and one sold, I think, sometime in the last year, but they're just tough to come by. I know there's an engine on there with a frame and everything else, but that's a lot of money, and you don't know what you're getting. Of course, I didn't know what I was getting with any of this, but I think I'm happy to have what I've got. Okay guys, there you have it. Just a quick short introduction of what I've come up with. I've got just about enough to kind of get started. I'm probably going to work on the frame first. That's just kind of the way I like to do things. The engine is, you know, you kind of work on it when you run out of parts for the frame or whatever. But we've got plenty of other projects. I'm wanting to get started on the Honda SL70 mini bike. So I'll probably start with the frame on it also. And it's going to need some repairs. But it's still a little cold, and it's really sloppy outside because we're melting 2 foot of snow right now. And you know, before I do anything really to the frames, I'm going to have to sandblast them. So that's yet to come. You know, we're a long way from spring around here, but we'll get to it eventually. But I've still got a few projects. The RM250, I'm going to start back on the engine on that and try to get that built up, and we'll get it back in the frame and whatever else we need to do to that. But it's a lot closer to being ready than this thing will be. But I'm really excited about this project. I've been kind of looking forward to it ever since I got rid of my other one. There's some things that I do kind of like better about the 80. You know, I actually liked the fenders and everything on the 79 when I had one. But after kind of looking at them and everything, I think that the 80 actually looks a little better, in my opinion, with the more rounded fenders instead of the square duckbill type on the back. But it wouldn't matter to me. I'd own one either way, and I'm excited about doing the 80. You know, there's a few things that are different. The engine is really about the same. I think I forgot, I left the pipe hanging up there. I do have a pipe for it, and I don't have a muffler. Actually, I had the muffler laying around here for the 79 up until about 5 years ago, and I sold it on eBay, and it took quite a bit of money because it was perfect. It wasn't dented or anything. I'd had an Answer Products aftermarket one on the bike when I sold it. But really there just doesn't seem to be anything like that around anymore that is reasonably priced. So I'll probably make one like I did with the Yamaha 125 MX. Yeah, you probably go back if you're interested in making a silencer, you can go back. I made that one all out of aluminum, and that's what I'll do with this one. So I'm kind of working in my mind trying to figure out how I'm going to do the seat pan unless somebody comes up with one. And you know, the repairs, kind of where to start. I've got a rear wheel for a 82, I think, with the backing plate and everything. So unless I can get something going on the 80 wheel, I'll probably go ahead and go with the 82. They're just more prevalent because they were, I want to say they're good for 81 to at least 85, if not 87, whenever they started the disc brakes. Anyhow, hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.